much for joining us for today's CEC Student Chapter Town Hall. I am co-chair of the Student and Early Career Committee, and I served as a past president for my student chapter a couple of years ago at Miami University when I was in college. And I'm now an early career professional working as a intervention specialist, first through third, working with students with autism. Tonight's event is designed to bring student chapter leaders and advisors together to talk about topics relevant for leading a student CEC chapter. We want to make sure you feel supported, and we are aware of the tools and resources that are available to you as a chapter leader. Tonight, we will have a chance to talk more about your student chapter, the successes and challenges, and then areas of growth. Our session will have some time for Q&A, and last but not least, we will announce our giveaway winner. We are giving away a laminator and supplies for one lucky student chapter and a gift card for the CEC store for a chapter advisor. So please make sure to stay on until the end of the call for a chance to win. So now we're going to introduce the rest of the Student and Early Career Committee. So yeah.
Hi, everyone. My name is Abby Camara. I am a part of the Student Early Career Committee. I am a student currently at Central Michigan University. I'm heading into my student teaching this semester. And I was also a president on my student chapter at Central Michigan University.
Hi, I'm Anna Ballard. I am a special education teacher in my second year at Lone Grove High School, and I'm currently finishing up my master's degree. I'm at Southeastern Oklahoma State, and I'm a member of the Student and Early Career Committee.
Hi, I don't know if y'all can see me, but my name is Shasta Brooks. I am a middle school math teacher for Special Ed Resource. This will be my fourth year of teaching, and I'm out here in Washington State and I am honored to be part of the Student and Early Career Committee.
So now let's learn more about you. We're gonna take a few minutes to do a quick poll.
Are you all able to see the QR code on my screen? Great. Oh, we have some answers coming in already.
I'm here with my master's class to learn more. Welcome. We're excited to have you. I cannot see the responses, Caroline.
I can read them out. So it looks like we have mostly student chapter leaders here, followed by advisors, and a few just want to know more. And it looks like most of our student chapters are in their growing stage, so they're just getting started. That's really exciting. Few are thriving, mostly are not just surviving, so that's excellent. And then it looks like most of us are planning on attending CEC 25, so that is also very awesome.
I'm going to go ahead and pass it back to you guys, to Caroline and Jenith, So Caroline is CEC's components manager, and Jenith is CEC's chief engagement officer. So go ahead and pass it back to you guys.
Okay, everyone. So we are just going to go over some chapter resources that CEC provides for student chapters. I'm going to show you how to access the CEC community where there's a student advisor forum. I'm going to show you the form where you can submit your chapter information just to make sure that we know about you and have your correct information. I know sometimes leadership changes and we don't always have the same up-to-date information. We want to share about the Teacher Candidate Support Network, which is an amazing opportunity for those of you who may be student teaching, may have students that are student teaching, where you can get access to a free CEC membership. And then Jenith is going to talk to you about all of the awesome opportunities coming up at CEC 25 this year. So I'm going to go real quick, if you'll excuse me, just get our website ready. Okay. Can you all see my screen all right? Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to show you is our student chapter resources. So I am logged into the CEC website and I'm going to go to our membership tab. And then we have a page right here for student chapters, and I'm going to click right on that. And when I click that, I'm brought to this other homepage where we have all of this information about us and about CEC. And if you tab over here to resources, I'll click that. And we have all of these resources available. You can just go ahead and download them straight to your computer, or view them and use them for whatever you would like to use. We've got chapter management resources and chapter programming resources. Most of these are just samples because CEC National does not have any specific requirements for chapters. Those come from your state and provincial units, but we just want to provide some samples of something that you could do with your chapter. The next thing that I want to show you is if you go over here to student advisors, we have information about joining our community for student advisors. So if you are a student advisor and you're not already in the community, please feel free to email me and I can get you added there. Otherwise, if you're already a member, you can access it here by clicking Access the Community. You'll click that again, and then it'll prompt you to log in. And sometimes it will have an error message like that. So I'm just going to go back to the website. And you can also access it here under Connect. And then it will get you to your community page. So it's really easy to just go to Communities and then My Communities. And you'll of course see the members or the communities that you're a member of. But I'm going to click here to Student Advisors. And this is where you'll see discussion posts. Feel free to post, connect with other student advisors, share resources. All of that is available there. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to the CEC website. And I'm going to go back to membership, student chapters. And then the next thing I want to show you is just right here on our homepage. It's this form to help us gain information about your chapters. So if you click Submit Your Student Chapter Info, you will be taken to this form where you can just fill out your name, contact information, and all of the information that you have about your student chapter. And like I said, this just helps us have the most up-to-date database so that we can be connecting with you all and supporting you all the best possible way. And then the last thing I want to talk to you about is going to be our Teacher Candidate Support Network. So that is going to be on a different page. I'm going to go to membership again, and then I'm going to click on individual membership. And this Teacher Candidate Support Network is intended for pre-service students. So those students who are not currently in the professional workforce. So I'm going to say that I'm a pre-service student. And then I'm going to click here. We do have a new name for this. You may have heard of this program before, but now we're calling it the Teacher Candidate Support Network. And it does provide you with an entire year of CEC membership, unlike the previous program, which was only 6 months of membership. So if you click here, you'll be prompted to a WUFU form that you'll fill out, and you'll get a promo code to use towards your free student teacher membership. So it's 12 months of CEC membership and all of the benefits that come along with it. Access to professional resources. We've got monthly interactive webinars for all of the members of the support network, and lots of other things that they can access during their membership. So now I'm going to turn it over to Jenith, and she's going to share with you about our CEC 2025 events.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jenith Johnson. It's a pleasure to see so many familiar faces and lots of new ones. Right now, share a little bit more about our upcoming convention. So our convention will be in Baltimore, Maryland in March 2025. And it's a wonderful opportunity to gain some professional development, to have networking opportunities, to kind of help build those relationships with colleagues and friends and with your classmates. One thing that we wanted to mention is that there's a representative from every chapter gets one free convention registration. So that can be your chapter president or someone that is representing your chapter to receive that. So we always want to, again, be sure that we have your most updated contact information, because I believe Caroline sent out information about that last week. So this is something that you can start to do now, is just looking to see who you will be sending to the convention to represent your chapter. And while we're at the convention, we actually have a student chapter leader breakfast as well as a student advisor breakfast. So this is an opportunity to get to know other chapter leaders and other chapter advisors, to have that relationship building and information sharing with each other. And I believe Caroline has you have it right there,
These are our pre-service and
Oh.
early career mentoring breakfasts. We don't have a page yet up about the chapter breakfast, but that will be forthcoming.
Coming soon. So while she has this pulled up, this is another opportunity that's open to all student, undergrad, graduate student members, as well as early career professionals. The Student and Early Career Committee plans a pre-service teacher mentoring breakfast, as well as the early career mentoring breakfast. And there are a variety of different mentors that are present who can talk about a variety of topics, and an opportunity to have small group discussions. It's a wonderful event. Breakfast is provided, so that's another draw for being able to attend. But that is another thing that you have to look forward to at the convention. And also, while we're at the convention, we have the Student Award. So each year we present one outstanding undergraduate student award, as well as one outstanding graduate student award. The recipient receives a free convention registration waiver, as well as a $500 travel stipend. The information for the award can be found on the website here under membership, CEC awards, and you'll see on the right-hand side, student awards. And that, I believe the deadline for that application will be in December. And so that I think it opens up in November. So you still have a few weeks if you're interested in applying. It's a wonderful opportunity to just to highlight your friends and colleagues. And just in terms of other initiatives at CEC, we have a few opportunities that are open right now. We have actually the Yes I Can Award, which is where we recognize students with exceptionalities, either that are currently in a K through 12 program or in a transition program. At the CEC convention, we are able to provide them with funding to attend the convention in person, and they're presented with the Yes I Can Award on the general session stage. And so it's a wonderful opportunity to highlight these students. We also have currently our racial justice grant that's open, this is an opportunity to apply for a up to $1,000 grant to support a racial justice related initiative within your school or within a project within the work that you do. I see Dr. Lindo is on the call this evening with her class, and she was one of the leading pioneers for this work. So I'm just grateful to see you here. And we also have our CEC Diversity Leadership Academy, which is also open right now. So that is a program that is for CEC members, graduate students included, that are from an underrepresented group to participate in tailored professional development. There's also a scholarship to attend the CEC convention and to have mentoring also. So those are some wonderful opportunities that we have going on right now, opportunities for you to get engaged and to support some of our CEC initiatives. And one more thing I was going to mention is if you're interested in volunteer service and serving on a national committee, this committee, the Student and Early Career Committee, has 6 positions, and every year 2 positions are open. And we typically have the call for volunteers in the spring. And this is a wonderful opportunity to gain some leadership and professional development in terms of working and collaborating together on a national committee. And we have Caroline showing the call for volunteers, the webpage where we have the listing of all of CEC's committees. It's a 3-year term, and it's, again, a wonderful opportunity to have some professional service. So that's all I have to share currently right now about CEC's opportunities. I'm happy to answer any questions. If you want to drop something in the chat, I'll be happy to answer them. But in the meantime, I'm going to turn things back over to Abby to share a little bit about some of the resources that she utilized as a student chapter leader.
Yes. So, Caroline, if you would be willing to go to the website and find this was a student leadership guide that I created for my team of college students. And we utilize this at our very first meeting, every single meeting of the year. Sometimes we did use it 2 times when we welcome new people on in the spring as well. This was just a really great resource for my team to be able to have everything in one area. It was also a great resource to have all of everybody's contact information, all of the documents that you need. I would always start out with a quiz. I used one from Best Buddies called the True Colors Leadership Style Quiz. So this is based off of that, but it is not the exact thing. I've used very different ones. I've used DISC assessments, things like that. And then on this page, you would put your leadership team, all their contact information, their phone numbers, their emails. My group shared our Instagram because Instagram was our main form of communication. And then we also shared our leadership style next to it. Then we laid out all of our expectations, very easy for them to read. As you can see on this template, I said in bold, this is a template of examples. Please base your leadership guide written off of your own bylaws that your chapter has created, or just certain things that are unique to your chapter that may not be unique to all different chapters. So this was just an example of how we may have had some of these expectations. And then as you scroll down, it gets more into expectations for each individual role. So you have expectations of everyone, you have expectations of each role, and I always left blank space. I always left lines after each one, because I didn't want it to feel like it wasn't a group effort in creating these roles. That's really important when you're on a team. You don't want to just feel like you're telling everybody these are the expectations, follow my rules. You want to actually create them together and brainstorm that idea so that things can easily be added in at the meeting. I also had group goals for this semester. We would do 3 goals, 3 big goals, and then we would have 3 bullet points on ideas on how we were going to reach those goals, and things like that. I also added in information. Now, this information, some people would get it in their packet, some people wouldn't. For example, like the banking information was super important for the treasurer, but not everybody needed access to the bank account. Or things like a Venmo account or a Canva account, just so that that person had it in written form, the things that they needed. And then, of course, a calendar. These are how like we laid out our calendars: event, date, time, location, and then our notes or plans, we would fill that in as we were planning out the semester. And as we were deciding what we were going to do each meeting, we would fill those out. And then last but not least, on the end of it, I would always put important dates. I would put the state conference. For ours, it was Michigan and Grand Rapids, and then the national CEC conference as well. This worked really well for my team. It's not going to work amazing for every team, but my team definitely benefited from having the expectations, everybody being on the same page. And honestly, it eliminated some frustrations at some point, because some people may have gotten frustrated with certain things, but as you can see, I'm a very organized person. So then once they realized, oh, that was just her trying to be organized and her trying to help, that was like her leadership style, that's the way that she was trying to help our team, it made it a lot easier to explain that than not realizing that, or having other people that are really important to your team, like those people that think about everybody's feelings and make sure that everybody feels included, or those other people that are very analytical, very good at collecting data, very good at seeing, oh, this didn't work at our meeting, this wasn't drawing in people, but another person may have a really good idea on how to engage more people, things like that. But yeah, so this was just one of the resources that we provided for students on the CEC website. And I'm going to pass it over to Shasta for the Jamboard activity.
So for the Jamboard, unfortunately, my tech is acting a little bit wonky. So we are getting someone else to do the Jamboard right now, but I appreciate all of your patience. The Jamboard is just getting to know you so we can personalize this session for what you guys need. So we encourage you to have honest reflections on there, and just keep in mind that our job right now is to support you as best as possible. Okay, you have, I think, 3 amazing former chapter leaders here, so please take advantage of that opportunity. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Anna. I'm going to kind of lead the Jamboard. If someone can send that link, I think in the chat, is that how we were going to send it? And then I can pull it up. So what this is going to be, it's kind of a brainstorm session where we're able to share ideas, what works really well, what doesn't work well with us, what do we need help with, what are some ideas. So it's a chance for us to bounce ideas off of each other with a Jamboard. So what you'll do is you'll click the link in the chat that was just sent, and then you can add a sticky note and just type, it'll be anonymous, but you can type what works well, what doesn't work well, what are some things you would like to see or hear from us as well. And then we can pull some of them and talk about them once they're up.
Yep, and I see that you can rotate through the slides at the top as well.
Community engagement. What are some community engagement ideas you guys or your chapters have done to kind of get out in the community and different volunteer works? Has anyone had any luck with that or any good ideas if you want to unmute and share?
We just, sorry, this is Dr. JT Taylor at Penn State University in Pennsylvania. And for our community engagement, we really just make sure we reach out to the organizations and programs that are definitely germane to kind of the population that we're interested in and want to work with. So we have a long established communications with our Center County Down Syndrome Society, where we help with the buddy walk. We have a organizational relationship with Special Olympics, and we help them with their community thing every year, which is a 5K run walk situation. We do Night to Shine, which if you're not familiar with that, that's kind of like a prom type of thing. So, and we've been doing that for years. And we also put on a conference for the entire College of Education here, that we created. Actually, we created a conference called the Diversity in Education Conference, and we run it. We get the speakers, we organize all of the things, and it's just connecting with the people that you need to connect to, and making whether it be email or in person, to see where can we fit in to help their mission, because it aligns with our mission.
I love that. I love that you're connecting with the students on your campus. You're connecting with the community. There are different areas you're reaching out to. That's amazing. Amy, I saw where you said you were doing Night to Shine for the first time. Do you have any goals or anything you're a little bit hesitant about that?
So we are doing Night to Shine as volunteers. It's being led by a church group, and we were asked to support as CEC. So our biggest goal is just making sure it really is an inclusive event. We've been asked to do some training for the, I forget what they call it in Night to Shine. I think each person has like a buddy.
Yes.
And so doing some training for those on individuals on ableism, on how to treat others with respect and those types of things. So if anybody has resources on how to teach others about disability, especially in the context of Night to Shine, that's something we would really be looking for.
Awesome. I know that with Special Olympics, that was also mentioned, that's something that a lot of our organizations reached out to, and that's, you can look up your local or your state site and just apply to be a volunteer, reach out to the volunteer coordinator, and that's been very successful for a lot of students as well. Let's look at successful chapter events. Music trivia fundraiser. Whoever said that, if you would be willing to unmute and explain, that sounds really fun, and I'm sure we'd love to hear more about that.
Yeah, so my name's Gabby. I'm from Western Illinois University in Illinois. And we got a group of 5 students, 1 advisor, and we fundraised money to be able to go to the legislative summit in end of July, beginning of August. So one of our big fundraisers for that was the music trivia fundraiser. Our advisor kind of put it together, and we would play like little snippets of songs, and people would write down what the song was. And we're in a small little town of Macomb, Illinois, so we have a lot of community support. So we had local businesses that came and donated a bunch of money. And so it was a really successful event. We advertised it all throughout Macomb and had people from like neighboring towns and everything there too.
That's super fun. I love that idea. And I love that it can include businesses and different stakeholders within the community. What about tabling events? Or is anyone willing to share a little bit more about that one?
That was also me.
Yeah.
So Western, we do a lot of like student org fairs, that kind of thing. So our student chapter always signs up for them, and we have a tablecloth and different like merch representing who we are. And we're really good at explaining what our organization is and what we do. And we always have at least 5 of us typically there at the tabling events. We really show up and get a lot of interested members.
I love that idea. I'm also seeing parent panel and teacher panel, and I think especially as an early educator myself, those are so important to hear from experienced professionals and then parents who you're interacting with every day, and then building those relationships. So I think that's a great idea to host as well. And then same with student teaching Q&A. I think Abby's kind of working with that right now as well. There are so many different questions that pop into your mind and things that you wouldn't think to ask. So that's a great event idea. I also love the fundraiser for your own Valentine's bouquet. You're good to switch it. And then areas of growth or needs, growing and retaining membership. If Abby or Christina, if you guys have anything you want to pop in on these two, on what worked with you guys. But I know just staying consistent and keeping active and reaching out to your members is huge.
Yeah, something that my chapter did after COVID, because I graduated in 2023, so I was in the heart of college and COVID and Zoom University and all that. What we did to try to recruit more members is we came to classes. So like we would come to, like, if we knew a bunch of freshmen were in this specific class that were pre-service teachers, we would do a CEC presentation with the like permission of the professor for in their class, or would bring the activity to them so that more people would be involved in like kind of familiarize themselves with us. So we came to them instead of having them come to us.
That's a good idea. I love that.
We did that as well in my chapter, and one of my favorite things to do, and your choice whether you want to do this or not, if you're a presenter or anything, our special education program is very small at my school. There's not many students in it, but our general education program is massive. So I always liked, whenever I visited classrooms, I would like have everyone, I'm like, okay, I want to know a little bit about yourself, like who I'm talking to, like raise your hand if you're like general education, early childhood, raise your hand if you were general education, middle school. And then, I'd get to special ed and like one person would raise their hand and I'd be like, awesome. And then I'd be like, congratulations, you're all special educators. And all their faces would be like, oh. And I'd be like, yeah, you guys are all special educators. We need all of you to understand disabilities. We need all of you to do your best to make sure to include these students in your classroom. And that was kind of what our chapter made our main focus, was that everybody is a special educator. There's a whole bunch of people that are a part of this team in education and things like that. We also partnered a lot with other organizations to grow our membership or have bigger events that drew more people in with other organizations. We partnered with early childhood a lot, and we did different things with that. But honestly, finding unique ways to involve your chapter on campus. So like we partnered with other organizations to find different niche things. Like in the last slide, that was me that said like the tactile birthday cards. That was something that we made like in semester thing. It would be like a craft night, but we would create tactile birthday cards partnering with an organization, and we would create them spelling out the student's or the child's name so that they're able to feel it. And so that we were able to send those to the organization, they were able to send them out. I would say just having like a clear mission. And then for the advocacy piece, we partnered a lot with our disability studies department to learn more about advocacy and to learn more about disability empowerment and things like that. And it brought a lot of unique perspectives that many of us have not really heard just being in the education realm, but branching out into other departments that would also go along with advocacy and things.
Those are some great ideas.
I also want to add, like, you want to try to engage students early in their collegiate career. So if that means like, you have like a freshman representative, a sophomore representative, serving on like your executive board, and you just invite them to come to like planning meetings and stuff. Just really trying to involve people earlier in their collegiate career, giving them a sense of responsibility, and you never know who they know. And so just really including as many people from different years, even graduate students. How do you include graduate students that might not be on campus? I think kind of similar how we're doing tonight, like Zoom calls, starting off with just reaching out and asking like, what do you need? How can we like service graduate students? What do you need to be a successful educator or a graduate student to enter into this field? And so I think understanding the people you're trying to recruit and then building from there. If they want to come to campus, then like making sure that they feel like welcomed, and because maybe they just don't know about it if they're not on campus. So I think just starting off and throwing it out there. I'm not sure. Anybody else wants to
And
add?
reaching out to some of their professors to see if they can get some information out there as well to join. And then I also think mentorship is such a strong thing that sometimes seems obvious, but if you can get members who are in the field or experienced and pair them with members and even graduate students progressing in their careers, I think that is so helpful moving forward. So yeah. But it was wonderful seeing all of your ideas and seeing what everyone does. Do you have any questions? Or of anything that you've seen even that you want to ask more about? I'll give it a few more seconds.
Hi, I would like to ask, share, like like I said, we're considering starting one. This is a graduate class, our master's. We do have undergraduates, but not specifically. They're kind of generalists and then may specialize. But why join and why form a student chapter?
I can answer a little bit of that. I come from a university who I was the last undergraduate special education major. And now we just have graduate students and we didn't have a chapter. And I came into my first year last year not knowing anything about the CEC, anything about professional development or professional relationships that could be made in special education. And boy, did I feel like I was drowning. And I was lucky enough to have a professor reach out to me about presenting a poster project at CEC that I had done for him. And I was able to attend that and have my school send me on that way. And it really changed my perspective of the profession that I was in. It brought me community, networking, resources, and I so wish as a student going into that field that I was prepared with that beforehand, before just jumping in. And having those resources, having the people surrounding me that were supporting me and supporting best practices. And then also the feeling of I'm a professional, I'm in this with people who care and who want to make a difference. I think that's really key. And I think I hope more students, especially wanting to get into this field, can experience that. And I'm even trying to bring one to my university for our graduate students.
Can I jump in on that too?
Absolutely.
So I Penn State had a CEC, I guess, way back in the day before I got here. And then it kind of collapsed and fell apart from what I understand, because when I got here 12 years ago, there was not one in place. And I have been a member of CEC for, oh my God, 20 years. Jesus. Okay. That's a whole thing now. I've been a member for CEC a long time, and like I kind of recognize some of the benefits the resources that CEC has provided me as a classroom teacher. And I wanted my students to have access to certain things. And one of the things that I found is that just being aware of what Council for Exceptional Children is, not the student chapter, just the national organization, and even doing that, a lot more students, felt more comfortable in the profession, right? Particularly in their first early career, first couple of years where you feel like you're drowning all the time, so having a chapter really connected them to the field, into the profession of special education, as well as connecting them to kind of this broader world of people that they have as resources and in different places, not just here at Penn State and their professors here, which are great, but they now knew they had other student chapters that they could interact with, and other first-year teachers who are feeling the same way they're feeling or have the same problems they're encountering, and it's not just them. So, it was a sense of community. It's also a sense of service. So that's kind of my reasoning, and so far so good, I guess.
I want to echo what was just said, but I also want to say in my undergraduate program, I was the only Hispanic student. And being a part of the CEC community allowed me to be part of the Hispanic affiliation with the CEC community and be able to kind of build relationships with others who were seeing things that I think those who came from a cultural background that we all shared were really concerned about, and talking about things like how can we help students who are Spanish speakers inside of our school system. And I was able to connect with the CEC affiliation president there, and then also just having the CEC community when first starting out inside the field. So I would say, the thing is, you never know all the benefits until you actually start one. And the benefits are going to look different for everyone, but they are really amazing. And it's more than worthwhile doing. And I'm so, so glad that I was able to become part of this community.
Yeah, I think that's a big thing too, is there are so many different pieces of the CEC that you can invest in and grow in. And so I love that as well. Let's circle back to some chapter events. I'm going to read through some of these. The Build Your Own fundraiser, bouquet fundraiser at Valentine's Day. Is that where you just, whoever wrote this, where you just have different types of flowers and you put them together as like a fundraiser event?
Yeah, it was a last minute idea from my students that worked really well. We literally just went to the grocery store and bought a bunch of the cheap bouquets and we brought them together. I think they could get 3 flowers for $5 and something like that. $5 flowers for $6. I don't know, something around that.
Yeah.
But then we wrapped it up in craft paper and we tied it with a little note that was about inclusion and the importance of inclusion. So we kind of had that, but I think we made $200 at that fundraiser. And we're going to keep doing it. And this year we'll actually, prepare ahead of time to buy some cheaper options. But it was a great way to get the message out about CEC and also a great fundraiser.
Right. I like how you combined an advocacy piece and the fundraiser. That's awesome. PowerPoint nights after conference, each student 2 to 3 minutes on what they learned. So kind of like a reflection after the conference. Is that what that was?
Yeah, so this was my chapter. This was something that I really remember in my undergraduate. In the state of Michigan, we have a very big state conference. So we were fortunate enough to be able to bring 8 or 9 people to our state conference. And it's a multi-day event. And it has usually like around 500, like 400, 500 attendees. I don't really know for sure. It feels really big. So we were all attending different sessions similar to like national CEC, where you're attending a bunch of different sessions. And even though you came with someone, you might not never attend both the same session. And you're learning a lot of things. So this was a night for us all to create a super simple PowerPoint, talk about either our favorite session that we attended or one like overall takeaway. We had a lot of people like, this is fueling back into the reason on why I think you should start a CEC chapter, but so many different layers of special education. We had people that attended such different sessions. Like we had people coming in and talking about different math interventions. And then we had people talking about language deprivation and deafblind students. Then we had people talking about early childhood and different inclusion practices there. And it was really cool to just see and hear from what everybody took away from their short conference time.
I just saw one CEC convention look into the university funding opportunities to attend. I can attest to this. I was our student government person in college, and we had like $20,000 at my small regional university to give to students. And so there are plenty of ways for funding. So see if you can get some in different areas. And I think that would be helpful with student attendance. Kickball Sunday with the Stark County Board of Developmental Disabilities. Does anyone have anything to add or want to unmute and talk about that a little bit?
So this is an event that we did. So I'm our chapter president at Malone University with Jennifer Webb as our advisor. She started this group just a couple years ago, so we're definitely still growing. But we actually she helped us to raise money, and we got to attend the national convention last year with her, some of us board members. And one of the topics that we went to listen to was just about like inclusion with students and students with disabilities, just coming together to play games. And so we partnered with the Stark County Board of Developmental Disabilities. So it's just 5 minutes away, and we played kickball for 2 hours with them, and it was no cost. We just had fun. We had college students come down and play with us. So it was just fun to have an inclusion kind of game. It was cold, but it was fun, and they all seemed to enjoy it.
Yeah. And Hannah, I know you said you mentioned going to national convention. Do you feel going as a student? How do you feel that kind of changed your perspective from a student standpoint?
For me, it really helped me getting to know more about CEC and as a whole. I knew we're raising awareness for students with disabilities, but going there really showed me more of what CEC can help me, which I'm graduating this spring. So it helped me to see what all CEC offers and what I can continue, the benefits I can continue to have through CEC. And it just helped me grow knowledge about a lot of different topics that we touch on in college, but don't always get to cover a whole bunch being in class. But it definitely helped me grow my knowledge with helping.
Right. And congratulations on graduating. That's exciting.
Thank you.
Do we have any other ideas or successful things for your chapters anyone wants to talk about? All right, I'll pass it on.
All right. So at this point, we are wondering if anyone has any questions left for us. You can go ahead and pop them in the chat or unmute anything specific that you would like assistance with, or just a general question.
One question I raised to Brandon Myers last year, and it was just a little bit late, was the possibility of doing a pre-service or early career poster session at National CEC. So a chance for the early career and pre-service teachers who might not be able to meet the expectations for the traditional poster session, but who still want to have that opportunity to share their research and get that experience at a national level. So I just wanted to throw that back out there to see if that's a possibility moving forward.
I think that's a really great idea. And actually at the survey that we're going to post at the end, it's going to ask what virtual event would you like CEC to do. You can go ahead and put an in-person event like that though as well inside that comment. So that way we have a record of it and we can make sure to talk about it later. I know we have Christina who did do a poster as an undergraduate, but I do think your point is important that, you know, a lot of pre-service teachers have a lot to say, and if they're that passionate about it, we want to encourage that. So thank you for bringing that up. Thank you for that suggestion. Any others? And I'll just give it some time. Are these town halls going to become a regular thing? Our members would definitely be interested in attending. I think if people are interested in it, we could make it a regular thing. And if you want to let us know that this is something that you think your CEC community would benefit from, please let us know once again in that survey at the end, or there will be a contact page and you will get all of our emails. I'll put my contact in the chat. But we would love to be able to assist you because like I said, that is the purpose of this community. We are here to make sure that, you know, you guys are able to be as energized as possible within your chapters. And then we have a couple of thumbs up for that. And I don't want to speak for anyone else, but we will try and give support in any way we can. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and leave some more time for other people's questions. Okay, so let's go on to the next slide, and I'm going to turn it over to Abby for our giveaway.
So our giveaway for our student, they are going to get a laminator and then chapter supplies, because we all agreed every single teacher needs a great laminator. So our winner for this will be Lily Britton. Congratulations. We will go ahead and reach out to you after this. Jen, just nod your head. Does she need to put her email in the chat?
We can find her.
You can find her? Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. We'll find you, Lily. Congratulations. We're really excited about that. And then for our advisor, we are giving away a gift card to the CEC store. And our advisor that had won is Dr. JT Taylor. Congratulations to you as well. Thank you all for your participation, and we appreciate all of you guys joining us. I am going to pass it off to the next person.
So at this point, we have a survey and it is already in the chat, but I'm assuming we can repost it in there. Fingers crossed, one of my teammates is going to be able to repost it in the chat. So the questions on there, and it is anonymous, but you can put your email in there so that way we can follow up with you later if you would like that option. And it asks you about what virtual events you would like us to be hosting. You can also put an in-person one, as said earlier, whether or not you found this session useful, and please be honest, and such and such. So please take a couple of moments to fill that out. It should be fairly brief. And then we can go ahead to the next slide after that for our contact information. And I'll go ahead and put my contact information in the chat as well, because it looks like it's not appearing there. Okay, so it should be up in the chat now, my contact information. And I'm just gonna put this out there. My passion in special education right now is co-teaching. I'm really blessed to be part of the Inclusionary Practices Project over here in Washington State for co-teaching. So, you know, there's different things for different folks, but if you end up in a position where you are finding yourself in co-teaching, feel free to reach out to me. I love co-teaching so much. It's great inclusion. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and let my teammates talk.
I think we're done. I think that wraps us up. So thank you all for joining us. We hope we will definitely take this feedback back to our committee and plan some future events. Thank you all for joining us, and we'll see you soon.